This conference has demonstrated collective effort and the will to achieve a common higher education area. The conference has taken stock of the major milestone on the initiative of the common higher education area, reflecting on gains and challenges, and repositioning ourselves for the future innovations and forces that have shaped and continue to shape the higher education landscape in East African Community Region.
We, the Minister, hereby reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the full operationalization of East African Common Higher Education as a mechanism to strengthen academic excellence, facilitate knowledge mobility, and serve as an engine for deepening regional integration, socio-economic transformation, and global competitiveness of the East African region. 2, we resolve to align the respective national higher education systems with regional higher education framework requirements without imposing uniformity. 3, we commit to enhance mutual recognition of academic and professional qualifications through development of relevant regional frameworks for mutual recognition academic and professional qualifications to promote seamless mobility of students, staff, and professionals across the region in line with the East African Community Common Market Protocol 2027. We resolve to harmonize national higher education policies, legislations, and regulatory frameworks, including accreditation frameworks with East African Community Regional Instrument, including the EACCHEA, these ones I had read before, by 2030. 5, promote the integration and regulation of digital, open, and blended learning systems, including cross-border e-learning platforms and virtual exchange programs to widen access, improve quality and learning outcomes, and enhance resilience against disruptions in the delivery of higher education. We commit to mobilize sustainable financing for higher education through national and regional resourcing pool mechanisms, development cooperation, commercialization of research, and private sector engagement. And finally, we commit to empower the East African, Inter-University Council of East Africa to work with the commissions and councils of higher education to develop mechanisms to monitor and report on alignment of institutional frameworks with regional frameworks. Directives to stakeholders. Inter-University Council of East Africa, in collaboration with the Forum of CEOs of National Commissions and Councils of Higher Education, to develop and disseminate detailed guidelines to assist higher education institutions in integrating East African regional frameworks into their own institutional policies and academic programs. The EACCHEA shall report annually to the Sectoral Council for Education, Science, Technology, Culture, and Sports on the status of the East African Common Higher Education implementation. EACCHEA and the Forum of National Councils and Commissions for Higher Education to fast track the full implementation and the periodic review of the East African Common Higher Education, and to establish and maintain a regional database of accredited institutions and programs publicly accessible across the pattern states. Pattern states to designate national focal points to coordinate the East African Common Higher Education activities, monitor progress, and ensure effective linkages between national and regional structures. Pattern states also to ensure the full implementation of the Councils of Ministers Directive to charge the same fees to students coming from all other East African pattern states as locals, that the fees are charged in local currency. Partner states are requested to expedite the removal of visa requirements charged on students and other professionals from other East African Community Partner states to promote regional mobility. National councils and councils of higher education to ensure that higher education institutions oversee institutional alignment of education systems with regional framework. EACCHEA, in conjunction with Forum for CEOs of national councils and commissions for higher education in East African Partner states, to develop a proposal for the establishment of a regional mobility fund. And finally, development partners are encouraged to align their investments in higher education with East African regional priorities, focusing on capacity building, infrastructure development, digital transformation, and research collaboration.
I'm pleased to learn that this conference has boldly confronted these realities. Listening to the ministerial communique, I'm glad to learn that together you have charted a way forward which includes, among others, building a seamless East African higher education area where credits, qualifications, and talent move freely. Establishing a regional digital mobility platform to simplify applications, placements, and funding. Strengthening mutual recognition of qualifications with attention to new frontiers such as micro-credentials and recognition of prior learning. Mobilizing sustainable financing through a regional mobility fund, blending public resources, private sector investment, and development partner support. Embedding equity safeguards so that women, persons with disabilities, refugees, and disadvantaged students benefit fully. Harmonizing policies and laws and providing oversight to ensure that the resolutions of this conference translate into actual meaning. Honorable ministers and distinguished delegates, as we close this gathering, let us live with a renewed determination that East Africa must not lag behind. We must not allow fragmented systems to rob our young people of their future. Instead, let us unite to build an East African common higher education area that rivals the developed countries in integration and positions us to compete globally in scale, innovation, and excellency. Together, we can transform higher education from a patchwork of national systems into a coherent regional powerhouse, a force that will drive economic growth, social cohesion, and continental leadership.
We most sincerely thank the government and the people of the Republic of Uganda for their generosity, hospitality, and excellent organization of this conference. Kampala has been an inspiring host city, and the warmth with which we have received has made our deliberations smooth and fruitful. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, please convey our gratitude to the government and the people of the Republic of Uganda. To the East African Community Secretariat, the Inter-University Council for East Africa, and the Forum of CEO of National Councils and Commission for Higher Education, we extend our deepest appreciation. This conference is a culmination of years of tireless work, technical coordination, and unwavering dedication to the vision of harmonized and competitive East African higher education space. Your technical stewardship has ensured that we are not only speaking of aspiration, but also setting clear resolutions, commitment, and timeliness for action. The richness of your contribution has strengthened our collective resolutions to make East African community a beacon of education excellence, research innovation, and human capital development on the African continent and beyond. The conference has reviewed our progress and, more importantly, called us to action. We have recognized challenges, uneven policies, limited financing, gaps in implementation, and the urgent need for digital transformation, research, and sustainable funding. Yet these are not obstacles, they are opportunity to innovate, to collaborate, and to show the strength of East African unity in overcoming shared challenges. Our universities, our students, and our society will be the ultimate beneficiaries of the commitment we have made at this conference. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we close, let us remain guided by the spirit of our community, one people, one destiny. The East African Common Higher Education area must serve as the engine that drives not only the mobility of students and staff, but also the exchange of ideas, innovations, and solutions that will transform our economies and societies.
There's quite a lot that we have picked out of the conference, and as long as East Africa is going to integrate and have an education that is integrated, we have to start moving together as East African countries. As part of what is coming out of here is payment of fees by international students, paying the local fees. Many of us think that actually it's the way to go as long as integration is happening. When a student moves from Uganda to Kenya, they should pay the same amount of fees. When they come from Kenya to Uganda, Rwanda to Uganda, they should be paying the same fees. So as part of the integration, that is the way forward. Gets to curriculum. We need to start thinking about a situation where we have a curriculum that is cross-border. A student attends a course from Uganda, first semester, second semester in Kenya, third semester in Rwanda, and so on and so forth. We need to start getting our data together in the same format, so that data being collected from Uganda is the same as data being collected from Kenya in terms of higher education. So this is what we call integration going forward.